It's Iyara, Vedic astrologer, with a forecast for the upcoming new moon that on Sunday, June 18th, initiates at 2 degrees of sidereal Gemini and in the lunar mansion of Mrigashira, a new lunar cycle. Mrigashira consists of 4 stars in the constellation of Orion, the hunter. The most brilliant of these 4 stars is Bellatrix, which marks the hunter's right shoulder, and the other 3 stars of Mrigashira form a bow or an arc that has the shape of the head of a deer, and Mrigashira in Sanskrit translates as a deer's head. It is the lunar mansion where Prajapati, the ancient Vedic creator god, changed himself into a deer. In the forest, deers are always on the move, searching everywhere for the scent. As a matter of fact, many natives with the ascendant or moon in Mrigashira have an overwhelming sensitivity to smells. There is a story in the Upanishads of a deer, the Kasturi Mriga, that came across an aromatic, strong smell that intrigued the deer's most profound thoughts, so it went in search of that smell, fearless despite the bad weather. Finally, it fell from a cliff, and in its dying moments, the deer realized that the scent had been coming from its own body all the time. This story is a metaphor for our search for happiness, not knowing that it is coming from within. We seek happiness in the perishable things of the material world, constantly running from one thing to another, from one goal to the next, but we fail to recognize the true essence of self and bliss within ourselves. So it doesn't surprise that the deity of Mrigashira is Soma, the moon god, as well as the nectar of immortal bliss that drops down to earth in the form of nourishing moonlight. We can bath ourselves with the waxing moon in moonlight and focus our attention on extracting bliss or pure essence from the ever restless ocean of sensory impressions. Because the divine soul, the true essence of life, is the fragrance of the earth, the taste of water, the heat of the fire, the touch of air, the sound in the ether, and the light of the sun and the moon. This is, at least, what Krishna proclaims in the Bhagavad Gita. Our mind, manas, the moon, our individual consciousness, is always in search for fulfillment and happiness. And it is only when the mind stops searching, pauses, and stays peacefully absorbed in the present moment, where there is no desire and no sense of lack, that we find true happiness and true fulfillment. This new moon poses the question what we are longing for, searching for, hunting for in our life. Mercury rules this Gemini new moon, and Mercury sits in sidereal Taurus in the lunar mansion of Rohini, indicating that the search is for fulfilling beauty, fulfilling love, fulfilling sensory perceptions, and fulfilling creativity. The lunar mansion of Mrigashira is ruled by Mars, which indicates an active search, but in a gentle fashion, because a deer and Mrigashira speak of a kind and sensitive energy. Every lunar mansion has 4 padas, which means feet or portions, and this Mrigashira new moon falls in the 3rd pada. The first pada is always a fire pada that stands for inspiration and dharma. The second is an earth pada related to being grounded in the material world. And the third is an air pada that stands for kama or desire, and how we relate to things, to other people, to life and the world. The new moon falls in the air pada of Libra, ruled by Venus. And it is fortunate that Venus and Mars, who is the ruler of Mrigashira, are passionately conjunct in sidereal Cancer right now, the sign of the moon. It means that creative drive and energy to chase after dreams and desires will run wild during this new lunar cycle. We must watch out because restlessness, a restless, fickle mind and impatience can become a problem. We must ground ourselves and channel the power of this new moon, the power of finding fulfillment in a clear direction. The frequency of Mrigashira gives a strong intellect, a swift, active and very creative mind that grasps information effortlessly. In what direction do we want to channel this energy? We have a great air trine in the sky with the new moon in Gemini, Saturn in Aquarius, and Ketu, the lunar south node, in Libra. These are all sidereal positions. And this grand air trine brings excitement around ideas, socializing, exploring new ways of relating, communication, networking, sharing ideas will bloom in this lunar month. The shadow side is overthinking. There is a certain danger of living in our heads, creating too many scenarios at once, over-analyzing it all, and being easily suspicious. So let us not jump to conclusions, nor getting lost in our own mind, but use our imagination and take the poetic power of this new moon and grand air trine to weave a new story, to compose something fulfilling. We can put an image of the moon god Soma on our altar, burn incense or essential oils of lavender, lemon or peppermint, and listen to the Soma mantra, Om Som Somaya Namaha. Wishing you all a beautiful new moon and a creative and fulfilling new lunar month. See you soon.